Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a certified financial fiduciary and a no-market risk retirement and income specialist, and the owner of SafeMoneyRetirement.com, primarily serving Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia. But he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about no market risk retirement planning, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio. I'm Tim Wood, an asset and retirement protection specialist. As you can imagine, on a daily basis, I get asked all kinds of questions by my clients or prospective clients. One of the questions I get asked a lot, and people have a lot of fear around, is the question, how much longer will Social Security be around? Now, the reason a lot of people are asking this question, we've known there's been problems for years, right? Literally our entire lives, we've known there's been problems. But according to a 2023 annual report, so this is this year, this came out this year, of the Social Security Board of Trustees, the surplus in the trust funds that distribute retirement, disability, and other Social Security benefits will be depleted by 2034. So what does that mean? Because that's actually 1 year earlier than they projected just last year. In 2022, they projected 2035. So what does that mean? Well, first, let me tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean Social Security will no longer be around. It means the system will exhaust its cash reserves and will be able to pay out only what it takes in year to year in Social Security taxes. So if this were to come to pass, Social Security is probably going to be able to pay about 80% of the benefits to which retired and disabled workers are entitled to. So if you were getting $1,000 a month now, could it go down to $800 a month? Yes. Unless somehow we fix this, yes, that's exactly what it's going to do. The money in the trust funds, one for old age and survivors insurance, that's the official name of the benefit paid to retirees and their families, and one for disability benefits. Now, they come from three sources. Here's how they broke down in 2022. 90.6% of Social Security revenue came from a 12.4% tax on most Americans' working income. Your earnings, how much you make. You get taxed 12.4%, and that's how the government collects it through FICA payroll taxes or SECA taxes if it's a self-employed person. So that's 12.4% attributes for 90.6% of the revenue that came in, that 12.4% tax. 4% came from federal income taxes some Social Security recipients pay on their benefits. That's a whole other topic. Some people are like, well, what can I do to keep from paying taxes on my Social Security that I paid taxes my whole life to have? Only the government, right? There are ways, and it's something that we can discuss. But 4% of the money from Social Security came from that. The other 5.4% came from interest on the trust fund holdings, which are invested in special U.S. Treasury securities. So the trust fund had $2.83 trillion in reserves at the end of 2022, but benefit payments going out are increasingly outstripping income thanks to demographic and just trends actuarially, which that's through the whole insurance industry. While boomers are swelling the ranks of retirees, and there's just more and more boomers, and there's still going to be, lower birth rates in subsequent generations mean there are fewer workers paying into Social Security. Now, again, the good thing is if we don't make any changes, the system will run through its reserve assets through 2034. So there won't have to be any changes till then. But if we do make changes, at least the system should continue to keep working just at a lower amount. So people need to plan for that. We're going to talk about how you can plan for that. But first, if you don't already have a copy of my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, give us a call right now so we can send you one absolutely free with no obligation. Our number again is 844-905-SAFE. Just give us a call and say you want a copy of Tim's book, and we'll get one right out to you. Now, the next thing people always say is, well, my goodness, Tim, I guess it's kind of good that 80% is still going to be there, but what can I do to protect myself if that's going to go down? And, Social Security is only designed, you can see this right on the Social Security website, it's only designed to cover 40% of your working income. Most people I know can't live on 40% of their pre-retirement income. That's actually a big fallacy. A lot of people think their income is going to go way down in retirement. In most cases, it doesn't. Most of the people I work with, it seems like their retirement, either it goes down just a little bit or it actually stays pretty close to where your income needed to be while you were working. Stays that way after you get into retirement. Now, why? Because when you're working, you can only go play golf or go out on the boat or do fun things, usually just on the weekends. When you're retired, every day is Saturday. So you can go shopping, you can go on trips, you can play golf, you can do any of these things literally any day of the week. That's why a lot of people's expenses stay the same, and that's something that you need to plan for. So if Social Security is only going to provide 40% of your needed income, where's that other 60% going to come from? Yes, you can pull money out of retirement accounts, and yes, you can do the math if the market doesn't go down, and if we don't have any other major events, whether it's, terrorist attacks or whatever. There's all kinds of things that could happen that could make the market go down. What you need to be thinking about is what you're going to do if the market goes down while you're taking money out of those accounts. For those of you that have already read my book, the first chapter, I talk about this happening to my dad. It's exactly what happened to him. He retired in 2000 when the market was going down. Many of you remember that. At the same time, he's taking money out of the account, caused the death spiral, which is how his really healthy 6-figure retirement account became a 5-figure savings account, and he had to go back to work for almost a decade. What can you do to protect that from happening? So we'll talk about that as soon as we get back. First, I just want to mention one more time, if you don't already have a copy of my book, I go into this in much more detail in my book. What can you do to supplement your Social Security and know you've got enough income to cover all of your expenses moving forward for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live? I go into how it works in my book. Give us a call, 844-905-SAFE. Ask for your own copy of Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. Again, 844-905-7233. So what I do with people, sit down, figure out what's their Social Security going to be, figure out when they're going to take it, and then look and see what that gap is going to be between Social Security and their expenses. We cover that gap with a guaranteed lifetime income annuity neither of the spouses can outlive, so they know they are covered as far as their expenses for the rest of their life, no matter what happens. And then anything on top of that, then we start talking about other plans. So that's the best thing that you can do to really protect yourself against what's going to happen with Social Security, because no one really knows what's going to happen with Social Security. The best thing you can do is protect yourself and make sure you've got enough income to cover your expenses. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market risk. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe with locked-in returns that will never go down due to market risk, so you can have the future that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your free copy of his #1 best-selling book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, along with the free Safe Money Retirement Information Kit at 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or visit him online for more details at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.
Money makes the world go around.
She's around.
The world go around.
She's around the back of my head.
You're listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio.
Money, 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 money.